You'll see him right side of your screen. Here it comes.
Oh, man.
That's a hard, tough hit from behind. And no call. Again, that's a tough hit.
All right, let's get down to business now. That footage right there was from the absolute war between the Islanders and the Rangers this past Tuesday in what wound up being a crucial victory for the Islanders. They are still locked in the third place in the Metro with 87 points. Capitals are right behind them, as are the Red Wings and the Penguins. They have to win tonight against Montreal, but let's get into what happened. So that was the footage from the end of the game, right? You clear as day saw Dobson should have been given a 2-minute liner for cross-checking. Cross-checked Vincent Trocheck. But if you continue to watch, if you watch that whole replay, something that Ranger fans seem to be like one-sided watching just that cross-check. Right after, Brodzinski comes in and cross-checks Dobson, and to the right of that, you have Chris Kreider cross-checking Romanov in the back of the head. Now you want to talk about officiating blunders? The end of that game pretty much completed what the theme was. The refs wanted to let the boys play, right? Because they were letting the Rangers get away with murder throughout the entire game. First period, you had the complete slew foot. That was a slew foot. Mika Zibanejad on Kyle Palmieri in front of the net. He puts his arm in front of Palmieri and sticks his knee out to trip him. That was not called. That should have been called. Second period, another blunder by the officials, in which the Rangers cashed in on this power play, the first power play of the game. The Islanders led 3-0 at the end of the first period. In the second, the Rangers made it 3-1 because they called a tripping on Mike Riley. Tripping on Mike Riley against Jack Roslovic. The guy, if you watch the replay, the guy pretty much slips on his own accord. That was a soft call, and then it ended up in a goal. There was at least 2 more interference penalties that the officials missed. Just to further exemplify the poor officiating in that game, there was an icing called when, clear as day on the replay again, Matt Martin tips the puck to go into their offensive zone, and they call it an icing. I mean, this game was wishy-washy all the way around. And for Ranger fans to go out on Twitter and say, oh, well, just wait for Saturday, Matt Rempe's coming to town, isn't that a bit of an oxymoron here? You're supporting Matt Rempe, saying, oh, Matt Rempe will take care of Dobson and Pelech. But the guy is a dirty player himself. You're going at, and I'll get to the Pelech thing in a minute, you're going at Dobson for the cross-check. It's a hockey play. The puck was in the air going to the boards. He's trying to make sure that puck doesn't leave those boards to end the game, as there was only around 10 seconds left. You're going to go out and say that Rempe will take care of business when he's one of the biggest dirtbag players in the NHL? Look what he did to Lechuskin, leaving his feet, crushing Lechuskin in that game against the Maple Leafs. He injured Bastian. On the Devils, he injured Bastian. And he injured, I'm blanking on his name right now at the moment. But it was Bastian, and it was, I want to say Siegenthaler. I think it was Siegenthaler, yes. He injured both of them in 2 dirty hits. And you want to come back and say that Matt Rempe's going to take care of business. Okay, we'll see how that goes against Clutterbuck and Martin, considering Martin practically gave this kid his debut in the Stadium Series. But this game was an all-around battle to the end. The Islanders playing in their defensive zone for much of the third period, but they were able to come away with it due to the great play by Semyon Varlamov. And Ranger fans want to go ahead and say, oh, that was a dirty game. And by the way, just to mention it, because it's not even worth getting into detail about, that whole thing with Pelech sticking the elbow out as Zibanejad runs into him. Keep your head up, kid. You should not have been skating with your head down. He had all the room in the world to skate around Pelech and go to the bench. Instead, his head was down, and he runs right into him. Give me a break. That was not a penalty. Pelech was looking down the ice to see what was happening in the play. I don't want to hear it. That's a bunch of BS. Ranger fans want to cry. That was not a penalty. All right, so we'll see what happens on Saturday. This is going to be a war, no doubt. But this game came down to which team put pucks in the back of the net more than the other team. And that was the Islanders at the end when all was said and done. You want to say, all right, well, they would have had a power play with 10 seconds left and the goalie pulled? Okay, Doesn't mean they would have scored on it. Does not mean they would have scored on it. It happened in the Penguins and Lightning game from last week. Lightning didn't score. Case closed. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Bring your fisticuffs because this one's probably going to get rough.